my legs sledding, so I'd probably die if I skied. So the New York Mets, their game was obviously postponed, and they're dealing with a lot of issues, man. We're showing you Max Scherzer out 6 to 8 weeks, Jacob deGrom, they're thinking hopefully mid-June. We're not even showing you Tyler McGill, who's got bicep tendonitis. They got 3 important pitchers. Their 3 best in their rotation are out right now. But obviously deGrom and Scherzer are the reason why so many people are predicting the Mets to go and win the World Series, because you have 2 of the best pitchers on the planet in the same rotation. Now, they have Bassett, they have Taijuan Walker, they have Williams. They're going to put Peterson in that rotation. Dan Plesac was on the show last night. He thinks, you know what, depth-wise, they should be fine. But you think they need to go get a pitcher?
I think they do. I think they should be scouting a guy like Castillo, Blake Snell, Greinke.
Well, let's walk through each guy that you put a list together and tell us why or why not they would be a good fit. Because we just basically went through teams that might be selling at the deadline and came up with a pitcher that could be on the move. So let's start with the guy that pitched tonight, Luis Castillo. Tell me why you think he'd be a good fit for the Mets.
Well, because you need someone that's going to probably give you an opportunity to win or continue to win. And at the same time, soak in the innings that you need. You need some sort of a stability in that rotation. And this is a guy that has enough experience, has good enough stuff to win your ball games, and at the same time, give you stability until you get one of your big horses back. Why? Because the Mets actually worked on putting out there a team that's able to win. Mm-hmm. Got a new manager, have a clubhouse that's completely stable at this point, and they cannot afford to give away the lead that they have right now, because that team is structured to win this year. And the worst thing that could happen is that they now hand out the lead. We saw what happened last year, and I mean, it would be a disaster after you put so much money into this team that you're going to give away the lead and you have your team.
It makes sense. It makes sense. So Luis Castillo, because he pitched tonight, we're setting him off to the side, but maybe he'll be the guy that Pedro picks. I want to run through all these guys back to back to back to back. Okay. And then you let me know at the end who, if you were running the show for the Mets, who you would go acquire of this list. We'll start with Frankie Montas. The Oakland A's have a high asking price right now for Frankie Montas. That's what we're hearing from other clubs that are interested in him. Big arm, you see his numbers on the season. Got to a slow start, but he's been good lately. Zach Greinke, his pitch to contact has been what he's about. His K per 9 is ridiculously low. 18 strikeouts in 44 innings, a 3.48 ERA. So he's getting people out. Greinke's got the pedigree. Jose Quintana has been a real surprise for the Pittsburgh Pirates. There was a time and place when he was with the Chicago White Sox, he was the coveted trade arm. You see his numbers on the year, very impressive. 2.19 ERA. Would he go into that Met rotation? I'm not done. Kyle Hendricks of the Chicago Cubs. Not great velocity, but he would be a terrific change of pace with the other guys they have in that rotation. Look at his ERA, hovering around 5, but he's had some incredible moments in his career. And what about Blake Snell? I know he's got a high asking price in terms of how much money he makes. He just came off the IL, made his first start the other day, went 3 2/3. But can I just remind you who's already in the big leagues for the San Diego Padres? Take a look at the rotation without Blake Snell. Darvish, Minaya, Musgrove, awesome this year. Clevenger has figured it out against his comeback. His last start was electric. And Mackenzie Gore could be front runner for NL Rookie of the Year if he stays in rotation. They don't need Blake Snell. So, Pedro Martinez, Castillo, Montas, Greinke, Quintana, Hendricks, and Blake Snell. If you are calling the shots, you're Billy Epler, and you're going to make the move, and you chat things over with Buck Showalter, your manager, who do you trade to go get?
I would probably go for Castillo and Blake Snell, both of them. Why? Because I want to make sure that the team I put together during the winter that now has the lead, a pretty good lead, and playing the way they're playing, is going to make it for sure. And I'll be probably going after those 2 guys. I don't know the asking price, but Montas will be a guy that I will also love, or Hendricks, but I don't know at the time to pay for them if I'm going to get the same return when those other guys come back.
So let's take a look at the contract details of the pitchers that we just showed you in terms of who's going to be a free agent. Castillo's a free agent after next year, so you get another year of control. But you see that Blake Snell in 2023, it's $16.6 million. You're going to take that money. Kyle Hendricks is owed $30 million after this year. If you're the New York Mets and you want to hold on to your young talent, you got deep pockets. Who cares? Blake Snell and Kyle Hendricks might make more sense to you because you don't have to give away as much young talent. You just take on the freight of all the money that's owed to those two pitchers.
Well,
right?
I think the what are you giving back is key. Everybody wants to hang on to their young talent. I just wish our sport traded draft picks because our sport warrants that more than any other sport. Nobody has a minor league system like we do, where you can actually trade minor league players for a draft pick or big leaguers in a deal. It makes sense to trade our draft picks. Every other sport does it. Right now would be a time where the Mets go, I don't want to part with Dom Smith. That's a big part of what we got. We got Batty coming up, but I'll give you a draft pick for whoever it might be. You know, it just would make sense. I don't know how they're going to pull it off because what do they have to give away? I think Dom Smith's the only guy that comes to mind right now.
J.D. Davis.
J.D. Davis. But Dom, you know, some people want a right-handed bat, but a left-handed bat, we all know Dom is going to hit. I think everybody in baseball knows that. So he becomes a coveted piece.
And the Mets have 2 first-round picks because they didn't sign Kumar Rocker last year. So they would if they could trade a draft pick.
You know what I mean?
I've been saying this forever. It makes way too much sense for baseball to trade.
You know what's good? That the Mets should be listening to what we're saying. Don't let go of the lead you have and don't give away this team that you managed to put together.
That's going to move the needle, man. You're saying Mets need to go trade for Luis Castillo and Blake Snell. Of all those guys, who would you go get?
Yeah, I like that. I think I love Castillo. I think he's number one on the list for me. But Blake Snell, I think you might be able to get a cheaper price tag than most people think. He's not the glowing toy that he was in Tampa. He's fallen off a little bit. And I think you might be able to get one of those buy low with a high ceiling opportunity if you get with the right people. And I think that staff in New York can turn
and you
him
slide him into a right-handed heavy rotation.
He'd fit in New York City perfect.
That'd be good.
He would.
Well done, Pedro.
And